Hi guys, welcome to another stream. We're back with 2D6 Dungeon, and today we're going to have a look at the new rules 9.75, 0.97, get it right, and we are going to do some play of level 2, fingers crossed. So firstly, I'm just going to set up the chat here. Just give me 2 secs, and that looks about right. Yeah, about right there. It has been absolutely manic today. There's probably someone in the chat. Let me just get this up. Hang on. Bear with me. And then we'll do a quick mic check. Bear with me. And then we'll do a quick mic check. That's a bit bright on there. Okay. Hopefully that's not too bright. Sounds pretty good on the mic. Okay. Hopefully that's not too bright. Good. Expert streamer. Right, okay. Let me just bring back up here. Right, okay. Hi Nick. How you doing? Ernie. We hear you good. Excellent. Brilliant. Wow. So as I was saying, I plan to go through the rule updates, which is here. And then I've got the new rules here as well, printed out. Then I'm going to take Arundel Knox through level 2. We'll do that live on the screen here. And hopefully, Kazakh, good to see you, my friend. Hello, a lot of work at the moment. I'm at work at the moment, so I leave a thumbs up and listen in the background. Looking forward to the updated version of level 2. Right, yes. Well, on that subject, all testers should have the updated level 2 files. They're largely done. I printed out the level 2 here. So these have got the level 2 tables in, and that's what we'll be looking at today in the playthrough. And but first, we will have a quick look at the rules here, and just quickly go over the key changes, because there are some key changes. Got some updates heading your way. Few hours. Okay, good stuff. Brian, hi. How are you doing? Good to see you. Yes, my voice is slightly dodgy today. Only really yesterday was I almost recovered from what I had, whether it was cold, whether it was COVID. I tested a little while ago, and it was a negative for COVID. Definitely had a head cold, I think. So I've been snotty and sneezing, coughy for a while. So it probably was COVID. So I've been struggling to get through it the last few days, but I think I'm there. I'm good enough to be able to do a stream this evening. I'm just waiting, just a minute for a few more people to come in, and then I will get underway with this talking about these new rules. I printed them out here in the booklet. And we'll go to each page, and I will just go over what the new rules are. Now, I have to admit that, well, 2 things. The Corey, yay! I finally made it to a stream. Good to see you. I'm very pleased you made it. Well, congratulations. Good stuff. Good to see you. So I am. I didn't put all the minor changes on this change list. So there's some things like commas, typos, word replacements that aren't listed here, and to the point where doing that stuff is adding like an extra hour to my day. So excellent work by Clive. He has just nailed so much of the kind of the basic stuff. But I've also gathered together like a good wodge of feedback from all the people who are listed on the front of this book here, and it is a lot of stuff. And I've had to kind of decide whether I'll keep some or change some. So if you're watching and you're kind of like hoping to see your implementation in the rules, something you'd requested, it might not be there. I've had to decide on the balance. And I've talked about this quite a bit before. I don't really want to make this game too complex. Some of it doesn't quite fit. And I'm trying to maintain a forward momentum within the game. Let's keep it kind of fun and interesting. Okay, good. I think we're kind of roughly there. So we'll start going through this update list and then we'll have a play. So, James, I'll try to listen for a while, but do have other stuff going on. So my chat, okay, will be someone. That's no problem. Right. So let's go over this. So page 10, updated adventurer levels table, taking out the 4 maneuver reference. Added, if you drop one, you can return it you can return it for, but not if you have left the level, for it was dropped. So there's already an error there. And I think there's going to be a couple of errors, unfortunately. I've had to really kind of try and push to get this out, which should probably affect how things are going to work. So, page 10. So you can see here the adventurer's level table. I've added a HP baseline, so you can see clearly how many health points you should have for each level. So level 5, you've got 50 health points. Now in my mind before, it seemed obvious, but some people have made a reference to it, so I thought I'd put it on there. It also emphasises as you go up levels, you do get some benefit, because some levels, 1 or 2, the benefits of leveling up aren't immediately obvious. So that is there. We've also, yes, and there was a reference to having 4 maneuvers, and currently the character sheet has room for 3. And I've been thinking about it as well. If you've got 4 maneuvers, I think it makes it highly likely that you will hit every turn. So I'm going to narrow it down to 3, and the same goes for the creatures. The creatures will not have 4 maneuvers; they will have 3 maneuvers. So that is how it's going to stay for the moment. I have someone asked me about this the table here as well. When you're a master, there isn't any XP to really gain to the next level because there isn't a level 11. It only goes up to level 10. But you still get an improvement in your shift and discipline and precision. So there is a sense that those need to be there, but you won't have any experience for the next level. So that is basically how we're doing there. Added, if you can drop one. And I did clarify some stuff about how you can change your maneuvers when you level up. It's something that we seem to that people have forgotten. Maybe, I don't know. I haven't had any mention of it, but I've clarified that there. Page 12. We have right, generating dungeon rooms. I've added apart from a double 6. So this is quite a big change. So basically, when you're rolling for rooms, if you roll a double, you roll again and add it and make a bigger room. But I've been finding that if people are rolling a couple of big rooms, it can take up a lot of space in the dungeon. So to mitigate that, what I've added in here is, it's page 12. So rolling double. If you roll a double, apart from a double 6 when rolling for a room dimensions, roll both dice again. So if you roll double 6, the room, you don't double the size again. Okay, so that is a kind of clear attempt to try and reduce the amount of larger rooms in the dungeon. That's my thinking. We're trialing that point there, but that is something to note, okay? So double 6s, you don't roll to increase the size of the room again, to double the room. We also had some clarity on small rooms. It has an area of at least 6 squares, but right, entrance rooms. Right, so the entrance room here, okay, I've clarified something about that as well. Makes sense, but by definition, a double already a large room. Yes, that is true. I mean, apart from the double 6s, so it's already a big space. But if he rolled double 6, and that's a big room in a dungeon, isn't it? Okay, so the next thing that is quite an important update as well, something to worth noting, is this is the entry room, and is the only room that has nothing in by design. We know that much. It has an area of at least 6 squares, but no more than 12. Okay, if you roll under or over this, make it 6. So an entrance room cannot be massive now. So it's between 6 and 12, and more likely 6. Okay, because to roll an area of 12 is only a limited range of numbers. So I want entrance rooms to be smaller and less frequency of the larger rooms already. So there's slight changes. Hang on a minute here. I've actually got to watch one live. Excellent. Black Hawk, welcome to live. I'm glad you're here. There's a little heart that's sprung up and it's blocking part of the... How do you get rid of that? Get rid of that. That is annoying. Anyhow. Okay. So that's that one. So small rooms, entrance rooms. I've also added in here the reference to rolling on the small rooms level. Now, exits to small rooms are all archways. All right. I've also added in here, look, if you roll a 2, 3, 3, 2, or a double combination that results in a room 6 squares or smaller, the room is considered as a small room. This can also occur if the room ends up being 6 squares or smaller due to the positioning between rooms or up against the outer boundary. So what I've noticed is that some people, when they're generating rooms, they're squeezing them into spaces, which results in the room being 6 squares or smaller, but yet they're still rolling for that room to be a standard room. And really, you need to be rolling on the small rooms table, because those rooms aren't big enough to really house the types of room that you would get in your standard level table, standard level, whatever level it is, level 1 rooms table. So you have to bear that in mind, that the small rooms that you make are still small. So I've tried to clarify that with the text here. Now, I will caveat this with the fact that this edition has been rushed out a little bit. So there are a couple of people who I rely on to sort of go through these things, but there are going to be a few mistakes. We're probably going to have a 0.975 with some minor tweaks, and I wasn't able to get through everybody's corrections or suggestions before tonight. I was still determined to put out an edition today, and the focus really is all the new rules. And these new rules that are going into the book are basically the foundation rules. nothing else is going to be added to the rule set now, as far as I can tell. It's complex enough as it is, without there need to be anything else, unless it's sort of trivial stuff, or stuff to clarify things that are important in the game. Okay. Page 13. Ah, yes, we just talked about the small rooms there. Page 16. Right. Okay, let's go to page 16. Not a lot else added in that room generation stuff here. So, here we go. I've added in what I'm calling a percentage unique rooms. Now, it sounds like a really awkward title. I'm not exactly 100% pleased with that. But what it does is it describes exactly what it's meant to be referencing. So when we go to level 2 tables, what we're seeing is that with the level 2 tables, we have the first introduction of a unique room. Let me get this a bit closer here. A unique room. Focus. That has a percentage before the yes or no. Okay. So this is 60% yes in the unique column. Now, that sounds a bit confusing. What the hell does that mean? Well, I've got a little description here. Some rooms only appear once a dungeon level has revealed a percentage of its rooms. These are feature rooms of the level in which a boss of the level will be encountered. The throne room on level 2 rooms table has 60% yes in the unique column. This means that at least 60% roughly of the level has to be explored before the room appears. If you roll it before 60%, re-roll. So basically, these rooms only appear once a certain amount of the dungeon has been revealed. And this is because these are kind of like end room bosses, so they're hard. They're harder. You definitely will benefit from being more experienced, and it kind of breaks the theme if you encounter the throne room straight away. You really want to have it towards the end of that space, as we are traditionally used to having the boss room at the end of the level. It kind of makes sense. Okay, if the boss room is not rolled during the level, it is added at the last room. If there is more than one percentage unique room available for the level, at least one must be encountered on the level, but not all. If left to the last room, randomly determine which one is selected. So as we go down the levels, and I'm currently working on level 3 as well, you get a boss room every even level. So 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. And on those deeper levels, you also get other rarer rooms that have a percentage. So there are situations where you could have a couple of rooms which have tough creatures in. This is designed at this stage to try and control the appearance of the rooms. We're going to see how it goes with the testing. But I think that this will enhance the theme and the narrative in the dungeon. So that is brand new with level 2. Now, if you're using if you're not a tester, you will get level 2 very soon. Do not worry about that. Okay, page 17. Right, we've added in stone slabs. So I'm thinking ahead here. Now I'm designing for the level 3 and 4. I'm thinking, because that's a crypt level, and we're getting deeper in the dungeon anyway, we're going to need another type of door, and that is stone slabs. Could just call the section boss room generation, potentially. Yeah. I mean, it won't necessarily be the boss room. It could be other rooms as well. We'll just, you could put that in your list. Boss room sounds good. 60% seems a bit like a tricky rule. I've got this on my thing here. What is this? Why is there a heart on my... I can't read the I mean, let's try that way. Trying to read the, here we go. That looks better. Oh no, it's back that way. Bottom sound good, but 60% seems like a tricky rule. Well, as it highlights in here, it's roughly, okay? Because you've got, if you were in a position where you wanted to actually measure it, you could do the math, you could figure out how many squares there are and divide the percentage and kind of figure it out, but you don't have to. It's a rough thing. Yes, I found the throne room after about 4 rooms and wondered what that 60% yes meant. Well, I did describe it in the tester's email, Brian. Don't worry though, it's fine. More importantly was that you guys were testing how easy it was to kill the boss, and which incidentally I haven't printed out the new boss cards. I forgot. Oh, we can always reference it. Just bear with me one sec. I get the idea. Not sure the best name either. We just eyeballed the percentage, right? Yeah. It is I just got to grab something. I won't be a sec. Right. Hang on. I've just picked up the wrong piece of paper. Okay. Great job on the edits, Clive. Had many I had captured as well. Yes. Yeah, Clive. Oh, Clive's here. Excellent. How do you know when 60% has been explored? Would it not be better to say when X number of rooms have been explored? That is a good question, Clive. There's a couple of things in play here. So, firstly, the 60% is a rough figure. Okay, it doesn't have to be exactly 60%. It's a guide. Secondly, rooms vary in size so dramatically, it's a difficult one to put down as an option. Now, I may just get rid of the 60% rule completely and just say it's the end room. But if I did that, then I wouldn't be able to have some other rare rooms in the lower levels. So I'm kind of thinking ahead. The problem is that it also has to fit on the table. So it has to be something I can make short, an abbreviation. And I think people quite are reassured by numbers when they see them in these situations. So there's lots of reasons why I kind of referred to that. And it's not something I just sort of plucked out of the air. Maybe have a d6 room dice that you turn as in combat, and after a certain number you roll for a unique room. I mean, again, that is a good point, but you might get like 4 small rooms or 4 rooms that are quite small, and it may not reflect the progress of the dungeon, whereas if you know 60% of the dungeon floor is covered, that is something that's never going to change. So, and I was just getting another. Oh my god! Sorry, I was getting something. Oh my god! Right. Sorry about that, guys. So, here we go. Level 1. No, that's not there either. Okay. printed out some stuff earlier and I thought I could use it. I know, I'm just kind of in a, it's kind of madness in here in my office. Yeah, a few large rooms would cover more area than the same number of small or regular rooms, so going by number of rooms could be tricky. I think so. I think that's the way it feels. I don't ever feel like I can use the number of rooms as a safe way of judging the dungeon. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. So slabs. So as I was saying, as we move further down, we're going to have areas that need to sort of be closed off or are sacred. Or I'm beginning to agree after Toby's explanation and feel the percentage rule is probably the best way to go. Thanks, Clive. I know I've laboured over this in my mind, and I think that ultimately we can test it and see how it goes. So you're deeper in a dungeon. Level 3 and 4 are going to be in the crypt. So classic dungeon stuff. Big slab doors, I think, have to be a thing. So I've introduced here, from level 3 onwards, you might encounter stone slabs blocking doorways. These monoliths are designed to block doorways rather than serve as doors. They cannot be picked with lock-pick tools, for they have no locks. They do not open like doors, but may be precariously balanced. Roll a d6 and add your discipline. On a 6, you are able to tip it over, and clear, and the way is clear to move forward. The stones can also be destroyed with one hit from a powerful magic scroll that causes 20 damage or more. These include Fireball, Lightning Strike, and Sunder. The Potion of Phasing does work against stone slabs, but the Gloves of Knocking does not. Do not. Maybe a slight correction there. So we have stone slabs. They are going to be a thing in the exit tables and in some room descriptions for level 3 and 4 and potentially deeper into the dungeon. And then we also have magical barriers. At deeper levels of the dungeon, you will encounter magical barriers in doorways. These have very specific qualities that the relevant tables will explain how to encounter. So you will find there will be a table specifically dedicated to describing what those do later on in the game. Okay. Good stuff. So we've got... they've also got... so you may find that some of these pages are wrong because I've had to add pages and take pages out. So, tracking back. Less than 50% explored. Okay. Page 18. Here we go. Less than 50% explored. If you reach a stage, this is a new rule someone suggested, and I thought it was brilliant. Just a kind of a comment that someone left. I can't remember who it was exactly. Less than 50% explored. If you reach a stage when you can go no further and less than 50% of the level has been generated, do not add the stairs down. Okay, so again, we've got a commonality with the 60% rule that is the unique rooms. So another reason why I'm using it is because I'm using it for this as well as a judge. Okay, so half of the level, I could put that in there, but 50%. I want to try and make it kind of precise almost. Instead, select the room with the most empty space around it and add an additional exit. Label this with an S and add a wooden door. Proceed by generating the new room as normal. But with secret doors, you cannot track back to previous rooms because the door itself is one way. So, to prevent unfulfilled dungeons, if you like, spaces where you get a floor and you do a bit and you kind of get trapped in one corner. Well, with this new rule, the less than 50% explored rule, you can go to the room where it has the most space around it and add in an exit and then proceed to explore. That is a secret door. Did I write that in there? Doesn't look like I did put secret door. That's silly. Probably just got deleted. Let me get my pencil. I need that anyway. Okay, let me just write that secret. It might just be secret doors, but the less than 50% is designed to show people what that section's about. Okay. Right, and then I've kind of expanded out the next level. Okay, so this is a new header. So this is page 18. We've got the next level, less than 50, enhance, entrance to the next level, using rations. Okay. So there's been quite a bit of debate about, some really good feedback from the testers regarding going down to level 2. So often at the end of level 2, your health points have gone low. You've got to face the next dungeon. You may have used your potion. You might have gone back and bought some stuff, but you may not have had much money. So you're coming back. You're heading down to the next level. You're starting that level at a disadvantage. Now, you could be doing it anyway, even despite this rule. Okay, so what this is, right, is basically my wife rolled 3 dead ends in a row, so secret doors are a good addition. Thank you, Andrew. Yeah. So it's kind of like a get out clause. Now, if you roll 3 dead ends, say that's really unlucky. You could even house rule that and just say, well, one of them's open. That's no beef. You're just making your game fun. Okay, so a number of factors to consider. When you go down a level, you must eat a ration. You've stopped on the stairs to eat and build your strength for the fight ahead. If you have no rations or choose not to eat, you feel drained and lose half your current health points up to 20 HP. So, I've put a cap on the amount of health points you can lose when you go down level if you haven't got any rations. Okay? So you can lose a maximum of 20 health points. Rations do not count as large items. Oh yes, they have their own section on the character sheet. Fine. Resting on the stairs. Now this is while resting on the stairs, and only if you eat rations, you recover some health points as you are able to recuperate. Gain 2 health points per level. If you have a cloth or bandage, gain an additional 2 health points. You cannot gain health points beyond your baseline. Okay, so this is a little mechanic that's going to give you a bit of a boost. So you're going down the stairs. They're not going to be like a flight of stairs in a house. They're going to be big stairs that lead down into the next level of the dungeon. So, I mean, they're going to be fairly deep. And there's going to be a moment when you can pause and rest, eat some food, and just wait and try and get some of your energy back. That's how I see it anyway. And so you've got that, and that option's there. Okay, now you obviously don't have to do it, and you do need to be eating rations. So it's just a little kind of bonus pickup if you're struggling with your HP. And it's not OP. So I feel like this is something that is definitely as a result of testing level 2, this has become more apparent. Entrance to the next level. I've got a little table here, a little graphic here. You will naturally enter the next level by the stairs you come down. Draw the stairs in the middle of an outer boundary and then an exit square. Then roll for the entrance room as you did for level 1. Now that could be, there's a little thing here. There are no encounters in the first room, and there are 3 archway exits. No double rolls apply to room size. Now explore using the tables for the next level. Now, the same principle applies to the entrance to the previous level, except you've got the stairs in front of an exit square here. And it kind of represents the fact that the stairs are part of a corridor, they lead down to the room. So that's where we're at with that. Blue-eyed geek. Just trying to remember who you are in real life. Brett? No. Is that Brett? Tell me. I can't remember. Okay, good to see you, my friend. Vincent. Good to see you, Vincent. All right. Okay, good. So, that's page 18. Using lessons. Right, 19. Meat. So, something someone pointed out to me, and it plays into the inventive usage system, is meat. So, I'm just going to read it here. Not too late? No, not at all. I haven't played level 2 yet. I'm just going over some of the rule changes, the key rule changes that we'll see in play, some of them today maybe. Not going for the same square in the grid when going down anymore, huh? No, presumably we pick the closest outer. You can pick any one you like, so it doesn't matter. So you'll be spinning it around and basically having it at the bottom. It doesn't matter. Yeah. There will be a few things. And Clive, I haven't been able to put in all the corrections you put in, by the way, if you're in there. I am working on it. I've still got probably another 4 or 5 hours work of corrections, 4 sheets to go through. It is quite a bit. Okay. Right. Meat. Nick says, makes sense. It isn't a tower going straight down. It's caverns dropping down. Exactly. Caverns, they're digging stuff out. They don't necessarily know where things are. The better rock might be in different locations for building. You know, it doesn't matter. Anyway, you won't really get that sense when you're doing it. As long as you start from an outer wall and just proceed into the dungeon, it doesn't really matter. Okay, some animals... So this is meat. Some animals you fight, such as dogs, insects, and snakes, can be butchered for meat. Here we go. This does not include humans or fungal creatures. If you decide to butcher an animal, you gain the blooded status and enough meat for 1 ration. This meat must be cooked though, and while uncooked, the blooded status cannot be removed. The meat can be dropped at any time. To cook the meat, a burner or fire is needed. While cooking, there is a chance a patrol will come along. Roll a d6. On a 1 to 2, a patrol smells the food and appears. Roll on the level patrol table. Once cooked, the warm meat can be eaten to gain 3 HP, or saved and considered a normal ration. Okay, so there's a couple of things here. One, we're increasing the availability of rations, which has been something that people have brought up. And secondly, there's also an opportunity here to gain some health points at the risk, 33% chance risk of, not 33, 33% chance, roughly speaking, chance of a patrol coming along when you do. So you could lose more. It's a risk. There's a risk. But if you're down to 1 HP, you just killed a snake, you might think, I'm going to cook some meat, eat some warm meat, pause for a moment, get some energy and strength back, and then push on. So that's an option. Now, this is under the inventive uses section. So you're going to be implementing your own DMing in this part of it, really. You can decide how big a fire needs to be. You can decide whether actually it's a big animal. It's a bear. I'll have 2 rations. So you can adapt this to how you feel the situation is going, and that's part why it's under the inventive usage section. Do you think you need dungeon in front of level to distinguish between entering another level and the character leveling up, just for clarity? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, sometimes. I know it's a fine line between clearly stating everything twice in a sentence or not. I'm finding I'm repeating things for clarity, and then Clive will come in with a comment about the right structure, and I'll say, well, I've only repeated it because I'm trying to emphasize the text. Some of the language I use is slightly repetitive because I'm conscious that people will come in and read a bit and then they won't read the rest of it. So I'm trying to kind of deal with that situation. What if your character is a vegetarian? They could eat the fungal creatures, but not the meat. Constructive comments only, please, Clive. That is a good point. A funny point, and I know you're joking, but still something to think about. The shrooms. Well, there are shrooms. You do come across mushrooms in the game, and there is a part of one of the add-ons for the Kickstarter is a mushroom table, which will have particular effects. So there is that side of it. So if you want to go veggie, Clive, and eat your mushrooms, they're in there for you. Okay. Right, 21. Okay. Okay. So this could be added. This could be in addition to XP rewards listed. Ah, yes. So I have put on. Maybe this game world doesn't have vegetarians. True. Maybe these adventurers just aren't vegetarian, Clive. Patrick, how you doing, Patrick? Kill a bear, cook 2 rations, stuff yourself, gain 6 HP. You're sluggish and lose 1 shift point for the next 2 encounters. That is a perfectly good house rule. Unfortunately, that is the sort of level of complexity I'm trying to avoid by having the inventive usage and freedom for people to sort of house rule it a bit. I mean, if there are lots of situations, I could apply different kind of rule sets for each creature and that sort of thing, but I'm trying not to. I'd love to dive into some of those intricacies if it was a bear, or, you know, the size of the creature, if it was over 6 foot, you know, then it's another level of complexity, which at the moment I'm avoiding. Who knows? You know, at some point in the future there may be advanced rules or something like that, you know, but for the moment, I do like it though, Patrick. Really cool. I like your idea, and that is perfectly reasonable given your own game. Okay, so yeah, you may get additional XP listed in the tables. I'm trying to add that in as a thing. I mean, understanding the level of XP is a tricky one, and the balancing is tough. But I think we're kind of getting there. Right. So, page 23. Okay. So, combat. Shift, page 23. Here we go. Shifting die. Okay, I've added in here, and the pages are wrong here. I know he was. Clive, I know. It was a big animal. Andy Cross says, if it's a big animal, I may cook it, gain some XP, and save a ration for later. An even better combination. Why not? That sounds cool. Okay, so one thing that's important to note, when you as an adventurer, you do a prime attack. Before, we didn't add shift to the damage, but our friend Bob at the Facebook group, and one of my main men, he put a very concise argument forward for this particular edition, and it's something I've been thinking about anyway, and I think it might make it more fun. So when you do your prime 666, I'm sure other people have suggested this as well, which is why it's kind of it feels safer, more nestled in up there in the old grey cells. You can add your shift to the damage. So if you do roll 666, you pick your maneuver that you want to do, and then you can also add shift to the damage. Because Bob said, and it's a very, very good argument, that ultimately, if you roll 666, you've done a prime attack. If you just roll for a normal roll, a normal blow, and you don't do any damage, what benefit was that prime attack? If you add the shift to it, there's a higher chance of you doing some damage to something, which makes that prime attack much more validated as the best attack, if you see what I mean. Okay, so that is now a thing, and that's actually, that will have an impact, definitely. No pun intended. 25. No, 26. Okay. Yeah, when you're facing multiple creatures, you decide the order in which they fight. That's fine. I agree. It's the rolling a crit 20. You actually double your damage roll, so I agree with Bob. Excellent. Oh, yes. No, D&D, yeah. I mean, lots of games have that crit, the big roll. D&D have kind of... people associate critical hits, don't they, with Dungeons and Dragons. But yeah, there are many games that have had it before then and who have adapted it in their own way. I feel it's just a reward for a good roll, you know. So, yeah. And so that has been added, you'll be glad to know. Right. So, yes. One of the big additions is throwing weapons. Okay, so now this isn't about throwing your main weapon. That's your melee or melee weapon, or however you want to say it. I always manage to say it incorrectly, so I tend to say melee. Throwing weapons. So I've added this in. This was a suggestion from someone in stream. If you want to put your hand up, you can. It's fine. Yeah, Patrick, it may well have been you. They have been added. Okay, so you can throw one throwing weapon at the start of a combat, like casting a scroll. You cannot do both. Excuse me. See, I'm still not 100% by any means. You always hit when you throw a weapon. So basically, you've pulled out your throwing axe, the creature's there in front of you, you just throw it, and you always hit. It's virtually impossible to miss. You always hit when you throw a weapon, but may not cause damage. Roll 2d6 to hit, throw. If the primary die matches the creature's primary interrupt stat, or the secondary die matches the creature's secondary interrupt stat, take away the interrupt modifier from the damage done. If both the primary and secondary match, take them away. Take that away. If both the primary and secondary match, take away both interrupt modifiers from the damage done. Okay, they have set damage, all right? Throwing axes do 6 damage. Throwing knives do 4 damage. Throwing darts do 2 damage. Only weapons described as throwing weapons can be thrown because they're specially designed and weighted. Okay, so this doesn't mean you can get a pole and throw it at your enemy. Not at the moment. I mean, you could try and you could house rule that if you wanted. I don't have a problem with you doing that, but this is very specific, and the reason is axes are bigger, knives are sort of mid-range, and the darts are smaller. But they're all kind of specially designed to do it. So I haven't included shurikens or anything like that. I wanted to keep this kind of gritty fantasy type related without drawing in other sort of cultural references. And I can have 3 types that I can include in the treasure tables. So, Turtle Go, good to see you. Good to see you, my friend. So we have, where's the tables here? So, if we go to the treasure chest tables here, you can see now with the updated ones, you can find, say, a throwing axe or 3 throwing darts. Okay, so they're now part of the game. They had an additional kind of range attack, although we aren't going to have bows in the game. So I had to think, if we've thrown the weapon, what then happens to that weapon? So we have a little section here. So we'll move something over here. So we have a little section here called recovering the weapon. You can try and recover your throwing weapon after the fight, but it can also break or be lost. If the throwing weapon is deflected by an interrupt, it is lost automatically. If you survive the combat and throw a weapon without it being deflected, then roll a d6. 1 to 3 means it is lost, 4 to 6 means you've recovered it and put it back in your pack. Throwing axes are considered to be heavy items. Throwing axes and knives can have runes. Oh dear, and I've left a line in here. Let me know how it goes. That was a mess. That was a message to the testers. That is funny. Okay. So we'll get rid of that. As I said, I've tried to sort of rush this out today so that we had something to work with because I said we'd have it. It's probably going to be another day or two as I fine-tune some of this a little bit and get some feedback about how this has worked. So we're pushing on. We're going to have this. This is going to be cemented and tuned for 2 weeks after the finish of the Kickstarter. So we'll have the core rules bang to rights. Okay, so we can then I'll be working solely on the tables. Well, it goes straight into the monster's head, lol. Then add a hashtag for Twitter. Would it be bad to leave in stuff like? Would it be bad to leave stuff like that in like Easter eggs? I have put one little Easter egg in actually from one of our other conversations, a reference to a TV show. I guess some of you may spot that. I don't know. So that is there. So throwing weapons, additional, you can throw one. You may lose the weapon. You can have runes on axes and sword and throwing knives. So yeah, runes are a thing, and we're going to have a look at that in a sec. Let's just move forward. So what have we got here? So we'll come to that runes shortly, I'm sure. Throwing weapons, recover weapon, calling for their change. Okay, so I have kind of updated a little bit the calling, favor, power. Call it power of the gods, calling for favor. I've kind of tried to go through this and make it a bit clearer, and added one or two little things. Added some additional text to the favors that you can get, so they're a bit more understandable. Bits and pieces like that have been added. Not much here. So we've got 23. No, we're down to 30. All right, 28. Rework this section, calling for favor of the gods. Yes. That needs to be taken out. I didn't remove the +3 shift next to attack in the end. Okay. Page 30. Places to visit in town. We've got a subheader. Yes, here we go. Places to the pages are slightly off on the update because I've added pages into the book and I didn't account for the number of new additional pages to this updates change list. So there's a slight inconsistency there, which is a little bit annoying, but it's been really complex trying to get this all done. Okay, so we have a few new things added in here. So we've got a new subheader. Would it be bad to leave in? Oh yes, I've read that bit out already. Okay, so selling items. We've got a bit more about that there. Buying items. So we've got some subheaders which make it a bit clearer. magic items cannot be bought in town. I've added that as a comment there. The market bartering has been condensed into a smaller table here, which makes it easier. And now we have the engraver. Now, after our discussion about runes in last week's stream, I thought this was something I had considered, and I like the sound of it. I need to give it a mechanic and be able to control it within the scheme of the game. So, I've added the engraver as one of the locations you can visit when you go back to the town. Now, the engraver, yeah, sure, he engraves cups, he engraves spoons, but he also has a little side project where he can engrave weapons. In fact, it's not a side project. He earns a lot of money through doing this. And he can put these special runes onto weapons. Now, how does he do this? Let me read you the section. You can visit the engraver and they will apply magical runes which you have found in the dungeon. So you found them to your weapon or throwing weapons. You can only apply one rune per visit as it takes time. Throwing weapons may only have one rune applied, and your main weapon can have up to 5. They cannot be removed once applied, as they are magically engraved into the metal. Okay, right, so runes are found in game from level 3 onwards and take the form of small stone counters or tablets that the engraver takes and copies and then destroys over the weapon in a process of arcane sacrifice. This process imbues the weapon with the power of the rune. Rune descriptions and knowledge of their power can only be discovered in the depths of the dungeon. So what we'll have is from level 3 onwards, there will be rune tables and descriptions of runes. It may be maybe 6, it may be 11 types of rune that can be found, and the effects that they will have on your weapon. So you can improve your weapon, which is what some people were asking about, and have a few people have commented on the fact it's just 3 weapons. Well, you can kind of customize those a bit now. In the future, there will be other weapons you can choose. There's also the herbalist. All right, you can visit the herbalist and buy or sell herbs. Herbalist table gives you buying and selling prices for herbs. Now, some of you are going to look at this and be a bit frustrated because it doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense. Some of these have a higher buying value but a lower selling price, and that's because they have a different value to the herbalist rather than necessarily to you. Right, but the herbalist knows that you want them for a certain thing. Okay, so there is a certain there's a kind of logic behind this, and it's not necessarily exactly mathematical. It's designed to be a bit frustrating when you sell something that costs a lot to buy for not as much as you'd think. You can only buy up to 3 doses of each herb per visit. This is due to availability. Even if you sold some of the to the herbalist on the last visit, some herbs have a higher value to the herbalist despite their buying value. Medical remedies are not available at the herbalist. You have to buy the herbs and make the remedies yourself. Now, you can also buy rations. You can buy a maximum of 3 adventuring rations at the tavern for 10 silver coin each. They are specially wrapped for the dungeon and made of hardy ingredients, full of energy and turnips. Okay. So, we also have largely nothing more. Okay, brilliant. So, we have, that's the updates. And we're going to take Arundel Knox down in the dungeon. We'll have a quick recap on where he was before. So just to sort of briefly go over that, the core rules remain the same. We've got some additions around. We've got the throwing weapons, some additional stuff at the market, things to look out for. Am I the only one who would like some tables for market stuffs? Yeah, there are. Yeah, so basically in the markets you can buy all the objects at the moment. I'm not putting any restrictions on what you buy. So you go to the table here, So you got magical potions, you've got magical scrolls, and then there is a selection of miscellaneous items there, and then in those other buildings you get to choose the types of things that you could need. Any changes to the monsters? Just wondering. Yes. If I've got to re-put in the cards, Patrick, yes, there are. Alright, so I'm going to get out. So I printed these out. Hang on. So bear with me one sec. I've got a sheet somewhere. It's like watching a mad scientist. Bear with me one sec. You can see there, you can still hear me, but let me just print out the other ones. I'll print them out again. So we've got reference here. I meant to print them out before the stream, but I forgot. Just print them out now. Okay, right, we'll get those, have a quick look at those. And okay, I'll find them, don't have to go through it all, appreciate it though. Yeah, no I won't, but I need to reference them because I haven't printed them out myself, which is a bit annoying. Okay. So we've got the God cards there. Right. So Arundel Knox, he had explored this dungeon before, and you can actually see this on the group. Toby, you seem like the nicest guy, but man, you've got to learn you don't have to answer every little thing. My opinion only. Patrick. Trust me, I don't. I try to answer as many as possible. It's just part of who I am. I like to yes, I like to please, but I'm also aware that everybody contributing, I'm getting the most feedback, and it is useful. And you know, as we move towards the end of next week, when we want to nail this down, there's going to be people suggesting things to the rules. I'm just not going to be able to add it. So this is the window when we can get stuff in. So yeah. Oh. Oh dear. I printed them out big. I printed them out big. Look how big those are. Okay. Let's get rid of that there. I've been using up the ink today. This is going to be better. Alright, so the one thing basically the one I wanted to point out was the I've nerfed the, here he is, I've nerfed the Overlord. So whereas before his damage was d6, it's on the bear hug it's now d6 minus 2 there, and there's a lot more XP for killing him and additional treasure. So really should have had these printed out, but that isn't a problem because we've got a quick print now, and we'll deal with that. Good. Right, so let's we're going to get started. So I'm going to do a dungeon the same size level, and let's get that drawn. So put that underneath there, can I see? It's going to be here, and there, and here, and there. That will do. Arundel Knox. If you want to see the first episode, I think it's a couple back. In fact, Arundel Knox's first level 1 journey was over 3 sessions, I think. So I'm drawing the outer boundary. Here, I might have missed this somewhere. On the monster card, what is the letter meant to mean next to the level? That is, if you go to the rules under the creature cards, there's a little table that shows you what category that creature falls under. It may be humanoid or insect or animal, and I put that on there because I thought it might be handy to have some way of grouping the cards together. So all the fungal creatures, and then if you wanted to encounter one and you had the card, you could randomly pull out a fungal creature that way. And using the cards for kind of random draws like that is something that I wanted to have as an option, and so that's where I was at with the thinking on that. Right, I'm going to just quickly snip these out and take a sec. So we need these to be able to play today. I'm so prepared. I was shoveling the food in my mouth before the stream today, trying to get everything ready. It's important to have deadlines. If I said to myself, I'm not ready for it, I'm not feeling well enough, or I haven't got this ready, then I'd leave it another 2 days, and then things get pushed back and pushed back. You've got to be hard on yourself when you're self-employed. You know, you've got to drive yourself forward. Otherwise, who's going to do it, eh? Who's going to be the slave driver? Okay, yes, I am married, but you know, it's you know, when I'm working on my own in the home. My wife's not full-time on the business yet, but hopefully she will be. But for the moment, it's just me at home. So, you know. Anyhow, right, good. So they're just temporary cards for the moment. You can play. This is demonstrating a way of playing without having to put them into sleeves. Think about it like that. Okay, so we've got Arundel Knox. He is on 19. Now, let's have a look at... He's on the stairs at the moment. And he's coming down the level from level 1 to level 2. He found his exit up here in this space here, which was 8 squares, and it was a cell or something like that with a jailer. And he's come down from there, and we're going to put his beginning square down in the middle here. I'm going to carry it on from the bottom. You can do it from the side if you want to, if you feel that's more thematic. So we've got one set of stairs, and then if you remember, one exit square, and then we generate the room for this level. It's 2, 3, so it needs to be at least 6 squares. So I automatically upgrade that roll to a 6, and we'll have the classic entrance here. In fact, we're going to go one higher. like so. So that was the dimension roll for the room. So there we go. That's our starting entrance for the next level. Now, as with every other entrance room for the levels, there aren't any encounters in this space. All the exits are archways. We are heading into the level, the depths of the dungeon. Right. Can't wait for the cards. I have only ever used them in booklets so far. Yeah, I'm well excited about getting the cards. They are going to be, when we print those, boy, they are going to be good. Now, he's in that room. He's standing around. Who is Arundel Knox? Oh yes. Now I say that we were going to do the going down a level here, and he's got to eat a ration. So we've got to have a ration here. He's got his little ration section here. Let's leaving the dungeon. Actually, going down a level. Let's do that. Resting on the stairs. Okay. So obviously, as I use this, I'm kind of saying to myself, maybe that isn't the best position for that section. So again, it's all good. Whenever you're testing, you think about these things. Resting on the stairs. While you're resting on the stairs, as we talked about previously, if you eat rations, you recover some health points. You are able to recuperate. Gain 2 HP per level. If you have a cloth or bandage, gain an additional 2 HP. Now, as it happens, I am on 19 health. So I don't need to use any bandages. I'm just going to eat my rations, and I'm going to go back up to 20 health there. So I'm kind of in a good spot to proceed into level 2. We'll see. I'm at 348 XP. Now, I think I may rub this out. I could, in theory, have written out the new table, printed out a new character sheet, because this isn't the latest version of the character sheet. There's a couple of things which aren't on it, but I just didn't get around to doing that. So 348 XP there. I am getting pretty close to the next level, which is, on the level table, is 500. And then it's 1,000, and then 2,000, and 3,000, 5,000. So we're looking at, 150 XP for me to go up to level 3. Okay. Now, right, we're in the room, and we're going to roll and encounter the room. Sorry, we're going to pick a direction and go. I'm going to go left here. Okay, let's have a look. What have we got? We have got a corridor. So this is going to be 1 across and then 2 up. So we're going to go put it on there like that. Okay, and as with any of these things, just to highlight, just initially as we begin, I will highlight a few of these things. Writing up a new character sheet would also help to keep the evolution of your character as they move level to level. That is a really good point, actually. It'd be a nice record. We're rolling for a room dimensions. If any dice turn up as a 1, including 1, then you have apply the XP. Some placement. Right. Roll for exits as you would a room. Corridors do not have encounter rolls and are not considered small rooms. Just wanted to highlight that fact there. Similar to Red Zone character sheets being new per outing. Yes, that's a good point, actually. Episode sheets. Alright, so we just roll 1 for the exits. So we've got 5, we've got 2 exits. So I'm going to put just one straight up and then 1 straight on. Okay. and they are all archways through here. So it's kind of like a little junction space. I'm going to carry on this way. 4 by 6. Okay, we're going to fit that, just fit that nicely into the dungeon layout. I like to nudge that up there like that. Through. So that goes in there like here. In fact, a good little point as well, I've incorporated here, and incidentally, I haven't had time to do more crib sheets, but there will be. I've got to look at how the crib sheets work. I mean, if anybody wanted to, based upon 0.97, if anybody fancied making some swanky crib sheets, feel free, go ahead. That would be awesome, based upon these rules. I don't think there was exit squares off the corridors. I didn't think there were exit squares off corridors. No. Yeah, there are for exits. So if you're creating a new... Well, there are. So basically, when you're creating let me just write that down, Bob. Good to see you, Bob. Exit squares off corridors. So basically, whenever you put an exit on anything, it has an exit square, just to give it that separation, so that the dungeons are nicely spaced out. And so that had 2 exits. There was one already there, so I've kind of left that one like that. Okay, which does look as if we're going to get 2 exits on this room here, depending on the size of it. So we'll just have to see. I mean, it may be small, it may not be. Right, yes. So I've got a little I've created a quick reference thing here. So roll for your and this is going to be available. This is probably going to be on the bookmark as well. So roll for your room size. Roll for the amount of exits. Let's do it. 2. So we've got 1 exit, and optional roll for room placement. We will do that. Roll for room type. Set up the room exits based on the table. Engage with creature first if present. Engage with room encounter. There we go. We've got a little thing there. That is basically your the shorthand for room creation. So we've got 1 room. It can't be placed on there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to place it up here. That is your 1 exit. Now we're going to roll to see what the devil this room is. Oh, hi Declan. How you doing? Hope your day at school was good. Hope you had some creative subject. Making your own games. Right, so level 2, human ancestry, the domain. Okay, the domain, it's called the domain because this is really more of an area where they live and thrive, whereas the first level has a kind of transitional nature from the outside, the entry, whereas this is a kind of more bedded in room level for the humans. So D66, 34. 34 is a prayer room. Now I think that's actually one of the few rooms that is carried across from the previous room, but it has a different text. So we've got a prayer room. I'm going to write that in here. Like so. And it says here, contains curtains line the walls, and a large mural shows a dark room with an animal skull on a stool. Okay, so we've got curtains. Let's put some curtains around here. We've got a mural and some more curtains. And there's kind of some kind of strangeness going on here. roll a d6 on a 1 to 4. On a 1 to 4, roll on L2R as a figure emerges. If you survive, search the room. Roll on RATT1 plus 2. Now, some of you have pointed out that some of the tables, some of the testers point out, some of the tables are still level 1 tables, but the difference being they'll often have a plus after that table, so you're going to get better loot, the chances are. So we have retained some usage of the level 1 tables when you go down to level 2. There's a transitional nature to it. Right, so roll a d6, 1 to 4. I encounter a figure. 4. Okay, so roll on L2R. Now that is here. L2R. It's a religious enemy. And oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, so rule 9 says exit squares lead out from rooms. Corridors are not considered rooms. Yes, that's true. That is very true. But it does say roll for exits like you would for rooms when you're doing corridors. So yeah, maybe there's a bit of clarity that needs there. Really, it's kind of like it's really designed to sort of keep the dungeon neater. Corridors. So I will go in and clarify that, because maybe the way that I've worded it on that hasn't quite come across. So I'll have a look at it and see. We do need some clarity on that, though. You're right, Bob. Okay, so we are facing a dark cleric and a infernal monk. Damn it. Okay, these are 2 level 1 creatures, but they can both be quite annoying. So he may die on the first room. Excellent. So I'm going to have a quick look at what I have got available in my sheet. When I see this presented before me, I'm going to have a look. So, random question. If anyone can help, on IAUT1, roll 4-5. There, 45 doesn't seem to be a limit to how many items I can place in the water. I roll a rock and the room dump. It has a large pile of rocks. Well, if you go to making sacrifices to the gods, if that's the one you're referring to, Dripster, then you'll see you can only make 1 sacrifice per fountain or shrine. Okay, so you can only do it once. It does outline it in the rules. That is a good question, though. Offerings to the gods. Look under the magic section. It's in there. You'll see. But you can only do one sacrifice or 1 object. All right, see me get out of this. Hey, Mr. Dadowski. Lol, rules say per altar or shrine. Yes, is that right? Yes, something like that. Do they? It maybe needs to add. Yeah, well, it's a similar thing, isn't it? Fountain. Add fountain. I'll have a look at that. There are a certain amount of, as I say, there's a certain amount of common sense that we need to apply to some of these situations. Right, so we've got the infernal monk, and I'm gonna use a potion, I think. Dark cleric and infernal monk. Now these haven't changed. These can stay the same on these ones. So we've got 2 facing 2 there. We've got Arundel here. Now we haven't got any magic scrolls. But I do have a potion of shield aura. We're a hard audience, Andrea. That's fine. I want to get it right. So I am determined to do so. So I got a potion of shield aura. It's going to be -1 per for 1 combat. So I'm just going to write that here. -1 damage. I'm going to drink that. -1 damage for 1 combat. Now, like a scroll, I'm going to quaff that before the combat, so we get that. That's kind of like almost like a free hit. It's like throwing a scroll. Potions. I want to make sure I put that in the rules before combat. So that's not going to affect. So that is basically, cross that off. So I've got this aura that springs up around me. And I'm going to have, hopefully, an extra... I'll put that down here. I will... Hopefully that will save me. Okay. So, and we've got Arundel. He's got full health at the moment, and we are going to see how we go. Let's get the combat card out here. Let's put that down there. Can we fit that in? Just there. That'll do. And we've got round 1 there, and I'm going to go first. Okay, so I'm going to try and destroy the Dark Cleric first. That's my aim. 3-5. I have a 4-3 and a 6-4 as my... Let's just make sure we squeeze this in here. Which means I cannot shift. I've got 2 shift, 6-4, 4. I can do that to 4 and that. No, I'm just 1 short. That's not good. I want to be able to lay a hit on them the first go. Right, the Dark Cleric has 3-2 and 4-3. 3-2 and 4-3. He cannot shift. The Infernal Monk, 3-3, has a 3-3 Mace Bash. Mace Bash, D6, so he hits, and then it's D6 -2, -1. Let's check my armor here. 3-3. I don't have any armor that can defend me against that Infernal Monk, unfortunately, because mine Jerkin is 4 and my Bishop's Mantle is 5-4. So we are short on that one there. Right, so it's D3 -3. 1, and he does no damage. Okay, round 2. Let's do this. Right, I'm gonna swing again. I roll 5-3, which, as it happens, I can shift to my drubbing. I can go 6-4, which gives me the drubbing, which is D6 +1. So on the Dark Cleric here, 3 damage on the Dark Cleric. Let's just make a note of that here. 11 down to 7. Is that right? No, 8. 11 down to 8. Great maths there. And they have taken some damage. The Dark Cleric, let's have a look what we've got here. 6-5, no good for them. And the Infernal Monk, 3-1. No, he can't shift to the 3. He's only got 1 shift. So that is round 3. And we have 5-3, which is again another drubbing. I can shift that to 6 and a 4. And roll again. High this time, come on. 4 + 1 is 5 damage. So he is down to 3 damage. It's a Dark Cleric. Rolls a 6/6. Okay. That is the Dark Cleric's. Although, hang on a minute, I didn't check his. Sorry, I've messed up a little bit here. 6/4. No, his secondary, he cannot block with his interrupts on those hits. So that is a good. That's absolutely fine. So we are good. 6/6. So he's got his 6/6. The air turns cold as the cleric raises their staff. You feel a chill run through you. Lose 2 health points. Okay. So I'm down to 18. So prime attack. 7. No, it's 6. It was 6. It was 8. Sorry, not 7. It was 8. Oh. Blue-eyed geek. Vincent. Yes, Vincent. It was 8. Right. So Infernal Monk. 6/4 cannot shift to that. Been very lucky so far. Right. So now fourth round, we get the fatigue die come in here. At the bottom, you see it's 1. We all get +1 to the thing. Don't forget, I have got the shield potion. The shield aura is protecting me. It's giving me additional protection. Right. We have got my turn, and I've got +3 shift. 4/2. I can shift that to. I can shift that to a pummel, but not the drubbing. So the pummel is weaker. It's D6 -2. 4/3. Now, the Dark Haze on secondary 3s heals 1 point of damage if injured and gains 1 point if not. Okay, so 1 -2 is no damage, but the Dark Cleric heals up to 4 points. He's back up to 4. The Infernal Monk has 6. Maybe I should have taken out the Infernal Monk first. Right, okay. Dark Cleric, +2 shift. 2/6. 4 and a 3, and a 3 and a 2. Cannot shift. Very lucky. Infernal Monk, 1/5. Has 2 shift. He can shift to a 2 and a 6, which gives the Fire Whip. So he pulls out his whip, and it suddenly lights up in this big curl of fire, and he lashes me with it. Now it's the D6 -1. Ouch! I do have my shield aura, so it's -2. 2 -2. No damage. Okay. Right, my turn, and it's 5, and we get a shift 2. I've got to hit him, otherwise I'm in serious trouble. 2/4. I have got +4, so I can do a drubbing. Excellent shift to a drubbing, and that means I do D6 +1. Oh no, that is disastrous. 1, so he just goes down to 2. This could be bad. This could be bad. All right. Dark Cleric. Now he's got +2. He's got +3. This is really tough. 5/1. 5/1. He can go 4. He can go 4. And then 2, 3. Staff Bash. D6 -3. It's D6 -4. No damage. Staff Bash. And it's also primary 4. I get a -1 damage to that. So it would be -5 damage. Because my jerkin deflects he bashes me, but my jerkin, I kind of twist and hit. My jerkin takes a lot of the hit. The Infernal Monk. What has he got? 6/6. Okay. A second Fire Whip appears on the other hand, and together they strike you. So he basically has these whips suddenly just appear out of nowhere like some possessed demon, and he whips, and I lose 3 health points. Oh my god, 15. This is tough, no doubt about it. Okay. Okay, so we are on to, hey Christopher, how you doing? Round 6, 3. All right, so 5-5. Yep, I can shift that to the drubbing on the Dark Cleric. 6, 7 points of damage. The Dark Cleric goes down, -5. We've got the Infernal Monk still, so he's out of the equation. We'll loot his body. Cool, blimey. The Fire Whip. No, I know. Okay. We have the Infernal Monk is going to attack. 6-1. He can't shift to that. 4. No, he's missed. He's missed. Just back from a BattleTech Classic game. Christopher, awesome. It's a game that I've backed the current Kickstarter, BattleTech Kickstarter, but I do have an old version of it which I was reading through not that long ago. The card version. It's a game I'd quite like to get into, actually. My go. 4-1. Okay, I have got +5, so I need to do 3 and 3. 6. I can do pummel. D6 -2. Come on, give me a good roll. So that is 1 point of damage on this Infernal Monk. He's down to 5. He's going to swing at me. 3-3. That is a Mace Bash. Yes, Mace Bash, and that gives it D6 -2, -3 because of my shield aura and my jerkin, so -5. No damage. He can't. That Mace Bash is I just deflect it too easily. BattleTech Classic, good stuff. Crapphone says, excellent. Right, my turn. 2-2. I can do 2 on there, and I need 4 on that one to make it the 6. So I can only do a pummel. It's 2 damage. So that is down to 3. The Infernal Monk. And I'm going to roll again. My turn. 6-5. I can do the drubbing. That's what we wanted. 5 damage plus 6 equals -3. Okay, so those boys are out of the way. That was a bit nervy, I've got to say. And instantly the shield aura washes off me, and that's no good anymore. I was a bit concerned about that first one. Andrew, I could have some. I sworn there was a rule that said exits and corridors are always archways, but damned if I can find that. Here, Bob. They are. It's in corridors. Oh no, they're not. Roll for exits as you would a room. Corridors. Oh. Do not have encounters considered small rooms. No, you're right. This is the rule that we changed. That's right. That's why I'm thinking this. So you do have to roll for exits. God, I don't even know my own game. So yeah, exits from, yes, of course. I just resumed like I was playing it the other day, like I was playing it before. But you do have to roll for exit Roll for exits as you would a room. Corridors do not have encounter rolls and are not considered to be small rooms. Okay, well, I think just for today, we'll play corridors as archways. What the hell? It doesn't matter. Ah. Okay. Corridors are archways. Is that the way? Do we want it that way? I think we do, don't we? We want it that way. I think we do. Otherwise, it's going to get a bit picky. Okay. Right. So, I am also going to use my potion of examination here. +2 to treasure rolls in one room. So, potion of examination. Going to quaff that back now. So, I have got a couple here. Yeah, I've always played it as archers. Yeah, I think it should be archers. I just obviously didn't put it on there. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, I'll add that in. That is official. Just had an odd thought. Maybe have a rule effect like adjustment to damage if you have to switch weapons when you adjust to make an attack succeed. Well, you stay with the same weapon, so there's no sort of switching. Tim, if corridors are considered small rooms at the end, do small rooms only have archways? Yes. But they're not considered small rooms because you don't roll in the small rooms encounter. It's just a corridor. There's nothing in that space, so to speak. There is no table to roll for corridor exits. So, yes, roll for exits today means to roll for number of exits. We don't have a table from there. Yes, basically. Yes. Yes. I was thinking about the fire whip mace thing the cleric just did. Oh, okay. I kind of lost you there on that one, but yes, maybe. Anyway, let's go on with the. We're going to roll on some tables here. So now this is. Now, don't be alarmed by these. These are the wrong tables. I haven't basically printed out the most up-to-date information with this. So that's random religious pouch. That's religious pouch 1 and religious pouch 2. So basically that bit hasn't been updated. But I'm rolling on one of these and one of these, and we'll make a note what we get. So I've got +2. No problem, Tim. Yes, it's all a little bit fiddly. We've had different experimentation has kind of pointed it in different directions. So, right. So in this room, I have not only got to roll for the room because there's a religious artifact there, but also there's 2 pouches. For those, I get a +2. So the first one, the Infernal Monk, roll on this table here. Two. Damn. +2. Nothing. The pouch is empty. Damn you, Infernal Monk. Okay. This is over here. I've got my small items. I've got 4 pouches away. I'm not going to take the pouch. Damn. Snake eyes. And then for the Dark Cleric, roll on the second table here. 10 +2. Very nice. Ouch, Snake Eyes. Yes, empty pouch. Now you are rolling treasures like me, Bob says. Yes, it must have been under a vow of poverty, lol. Bloody good point, Todd. How are you doing? I said hello, Todd. How are you doing? Thanks for all your feedback, by the way. Thanks to everybody's feedback. It's been awesome. So we rolled a 10. +2 takes us up to 12. Right, I've never rolled 12 on a treasure table before. Let's have a look. What have we got? It says down here, carefully wrapped in cotton cloth are 2 explosive marbles. They must be kept wrapped. Okay, 2 explosive marbles. Excellent. My first magical items that I've found in game. Okay, and that actually feels awesome. That feels amazing to get those. So, explosive marbles. Let's have a look at what these are. Little marbles swirling with some kind of gas. Magic items table. I'm going to write on here as well. So magic items, explosive marbles, small glass balls that explode when rolled into a room, doing 2d6 plus 3 damage. Okay, now the question is, marbles wrapped in cloth, do they have small red eyes inside them? Yeah, Terminator. Is that a Terminator reference? Very good. 2d6 plus 3 damage. 1 charge. Now, interesting. Is that going to be area damage or individual damage? I think it's to one character. Okay, never carry them in pocket. I've seen the training films. Well, that's a handy thing. Okay, so but we can go back to the room itself, and here on the prayer room, it says also roll on RATT1 plus 2. Now that is the if we look in here we go, the religious artifacts treasure table. Okay, now I have rolled I've got a plus 2 on this roll because it's the same room. My potion of examination is really revealing things to me. Empty pouches and explosive marbles. Let's have a look and see what we get here. 8 plus 2 is 10. Inside a small cabinet in the corner, you find a slim silver rod worth 2d6 silver and a small empty box. Okay, so we've got a silver rod. In fact, we can put that in the treasures section. Treasure over here. Silver rod. And I'm going to figure out how much it's worth. What was it? 2d6. 2d6. 5d6. So we've got 7, 8, 11, 16 silver. 16 silver coins. And an empty box, which is handy for carrying things. Small empty box. Okay. Certain things need a box to be carried. Curious, would you also note the cloth is wrapped in? Yes, absolutely. Cloth. Because I'll take it out and have that bit of cloth. Now, cloth is handy for bandaging stuff and doing all sorts of things like that. Andrew says, I do think you should have a base coin wall for killing enemies based on HP or something. Killing a dark cleric and dying and getting an empty pouch stings rather. Andrew, that's just how it is. I mean, he might not have anything. The sort of coin doesn't magically appear from the air. The whole principle for the game is harsh reality bites. That is what it's about. It's those moments of like, damn it, the flipping infernal monk, he's got an empty pouch. Damn it. But you do get XP. So let's figure that out. So that's how I look at it. Now we know where the marbles were kept. Clive, do you get +4? Do you not get +4? +2 for the potion and +2 for the room? Did it? Oh, did I not do that? It may have been plus. It may have been. It's too late anyway. I've done it. That's fine. That's fine. You're right. It was going to be +3. It was +1 for the room, which would have given me a small ornate casket. So it opens. There's a pouch with D6 gold coins inside, but that's fine. We'll go with the rod. It's fine. That's just the nature of playing games like this, isn't it? Sometimes you do it slightly incorrectly, but it doesn't really matter. Right, but we do need to just clock on what experience we've got. So the Dark Cleric is 25, and the Infernal Monk, where are you? He is 15. So it's plus 40 XP, which is quite nice. So that's 388 there. Okay, so that's good. Right, level 2. Put here on the narrative moments. Ran into a Dark Cleric and Infernal Monk in first room. Used 2 potions, but defeated them after both performed prime attacks. There we go. There's a little bit of narrative recorded there. Right, so we are in this space. We've got 1 exit. Now, I didn't look at what the exit types were. Let me just check that. Exit types. Prayer room exit types are curtains. So we've got a curtain that fits nicely in with the theme of the room. We're going to go up through this space here. Infernal Monk's favourite song, Whip It. Fair enough. Infernal Monks cannot be trusted. They cannot. Right, I'm going up this space here. Right, let's roll for the room. 4 by 4. It's a double. So let's have a bigger room, shall we? 5 by 9. So we've got 5 by 9. So we will have it. I'm going to squeeze it in over here. I'm going to have this entrance going in. This bit here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. By doing this, it means that the exits are only on those other sides. Right, let's have a look at how many exits. It's 2 exits. So we've only got 2 sides. We can't do it on this side because that's the entrance side. Can't do it down here because the outer boundary's there. So we're going to put an exit up here. And then maybe let's put one in down here. We could have an interesting situation here where we've got a room that... Well, we'll see how it fits in. It could fit in a number of ways. What is this room? Level 2, human ancestry. Let's roll a D66. 61. Treatment room. Ugh. Treatment room. Let's put this here. Okay. Your treatment room. There are shelves lined with jars and bottles. A wooden table stands in the center. Okay. Let's put a wooden table in the center here. We're going to face an apothecary. Okay, we've got some shelving going around here. The dreaded apothecary. Now this level, the level 2 has retained some of the harder first level creatures. But although we've only encountered level 1 so far, there are level 2 creatures to experience. Right, so treatment room. Where are you? Here we are. You must face an apothecary. If you survive, you search your shelves, roll on pot 2 and pot 3. Okay, so there are some potions here, which is going to be good. if we get past this nerfed... now, did I bring out the nerfed version of the Apothecary? I don't think I did. Bear with me one sec. You're right, Nick. Nick is right. Nick is right. Thank you, Nick. That is exactly what I needed. I will delete this. That is a large room. Nick, you are right. We'll just roll that back. As much as I was looking forward to taking on the Apothecary. We'll roll that back and let's try and do this properly. God. I know how to play my game. Okay. Large room. Could be worse. Large room. Thank you, Nick. If you spot stuff like that, just let me know. Level 2 large rooms. Here we go. A whole new table. Yes. Easily done. Right. 9. Crate store. You predicted it. Okay, crate store. Let's write that in. Okay. This space is used for storage, and crates scatter the space, creating hidden spaces. There is a noise, so roll on L1CE, and then roll on C2. After, roll on level 2 TR. Okay, we'll get to that. So there's a few tables here. We've got crates. I'm going to put some crates in here, scattered around this space. Put a few crates. Like so. Okay. Leave a bit of space in the middle there. So we've got to roll on the crate encounter space. Now this is actually a level 1 table. Didn't feel like we needed to upgrade this to level 2 for this one. And let me just find it here. Here we go. Rolling on this table here. 3. There's a hole in a crate and a huge rat jumps out from inside and attacks. Alright. So this isn't going to be much of a problem. You're obviously going to encounter rats and stuff like that, no matter what level you're on. Now, these ones are the same. These are the level 1, so it shouldn't be a problem at all. We're going to take that there. And then my guy is here. He only has 3 HP. Rat. His damage is -4. On primary 4s it's -1. So he is very weak. Yeah, rats are a pushover, indeed. They should be, really, shouldn't they? If you think about it. There are going to be giant rats deeper in the dungeon. These are huge rats. Right, round 1. 5, 2. I can switch that to a pummel. He doesn't have an interrupt. He's probably one of the few creatures that actually doesn't have an interrupt. So roll the die. 4 minus 2. It's 2. Takes it down to 1 point of damage. Now, his bite. 6, 6. He does his prime attack. Oh my god. This thing is up at my throat. The rat pounces and lands on your face. It bites you before you brush it off. Lose 1 HP. Wow. Wow. There you go. This shows, isn't it? Round 2. 4, 3. That is an exact strike. It's my pummel. I'm so annoyed. I just splat the thing. 3, 1 damage. Kills the rat. No problem. Okay. So that is sorted there. And Unless the dice gods are angry with you, lol. Yes, I knew you were in trouble when you said it should be easy. That's what is referred to as raising a flag. Well, I just splattered the thing, alright? So it's gone. Just 2 XP. It's hardly even worth noting it down, although it does round me up nicely to 390. It's just some vermin. But you see, they can chip, they can do you a little bit of damage. They can, these things. Okay. Right, so now in this large room, we also roll on C2, chest 2, chest table 2, and that's because we're on a deeper dungeon here. See if we find anything. There's a chest stashed away at the back. Hello, Nico. Greetings from Germany. Just testing level 1 for my own. The first time. Awesome experience. Can't wait for more content. Although I got bit by a warhound, and worked dog to death. Bad luck. Bad luck. It's that teaming aspect, isn't it? You face 2 enemies. It is a question of whether you're going to survive. What strategy do you employ? Do you use a potion? Do you use a scroll? Can you make sure you take down one of the enemies before it reaches round 4? Yes, it's a tough one, isn't it? So, chest table 2. Ooh, 10. Okay. You flip the lid up and are amazed to see a sack of coins. I am amazed. 4d6 plus 4 gold coins. Two. Right, 2 and 4, 9 coins. 9 plus 4 is 13 gold coins. Right, let's put that on the thing here. 13 gold coins. And what do we got as well? It says here 2d6 plus 2 silver. So 8 silver. And roll on half an ornate item. Okay. Wow, that's quite OP. We've got a little chest. I can put a chest in here. At the back. Just put a little distinctive chest type thing in there. And since I average 2 to 3 multiple creatures per level, I never have enough resources to be tactical. I'm usually stuck slogging out normal hits. Yeah, that's unfortunate. That is for sure. I'm upping the loot a bit to try and give more options, and there's more stuff in town you can buy. So, you know, it is tricky. I agree. It is a bit tough. I quite like that. So we've got that treasure, and then we've got to roll on the half ornate item, which is in the here we go, in the random stuff here. So this is the first time I've got one of these. So this is, you can match these up. So if you match up the half ornate items, you can increase their value. 1 half an ornate copper pendant. Okay, I'm rolling lots of 1s today. Half a copper pendant worth D6 silver coin. I'm trying to remember whether I explained that in the rules. I'm pretty sure I did. So we have Taz Devil 144. Congrats on the Kickstarter. I just wanted to toss out there that it would be sweet if the maneuvers at higher levels had riders like stunts, enemy skips next attack, or -1 shift on enemy's next attack. K or primary fours do not count on next enemy attack. Stuff along those lines. Well, that sort of becomes that's a very complex way of dealing with the maneuvers. They're quite sort of straightforward at the moment, but I'm introducing runes which will have effects like that. So they will help you specialize your weapons a bit more. So those are coming in from level 3 onwards. So there are ways of improving your attacks and your weapons at the moment. Bearing in mind that you can only store so much information in your character sheets, and you don't want to be looking too much information up. This is something that I'm kind of very conscious of. So, all right. So, but I appreciate the comment. It's certainly food for thought. I take all of these things on board, and they go into the kind of the process of judging where things lie and what people want, or suggest. So thanks for that. Right, so I've got half an item. And that actually was quite, just for the rat, I got all that gold there, which is quite nice, I'll be honest with you. So where's my character at the moment? So we've got 14 health points, which is not fantastic, but it's not bad. And we're kind of skipping along slowly. Right, let's go into the next room. I think we're going to go back across this space here and see what happens. So the exits for the large room actually have a list here. So we go back in on the table. You can see where is it? Here we go. Large room. So the crates store all archways, which is handy. I haven't had to face any locked doors yet. I don't have any lockpicks. So we're going to go this way. Nice. Just thought I'd toss it out there. Why not? Yeah. No, honestly, I consider all these ideas and I read them all, and they'll kind of contribute to sort of a mass of knowledge on what's in the game and where it's going, and the kind of feedback I'm getting. So this space here, okay, 5 by 6. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it out across here. Yeah, bring it out across here and leave sort of enough space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, for these to be, and then 6 up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now that isn't quite a large room. So that's 30 spaces. No, it's not. Yes, it is. 30 spaces. So that is not a large room. That is just a normal room. Let's roll for exits. 5. So that's 2 exits. And as it happens, what we can do is check. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Got 1 up there. In fact, that's where it starts. So it doesn't connect down to these rooms. So I'm going to have it going out like this. So we've got 2 exits further up. Let's find out what the room is. Let's get the room. And level 1 room, level 2. I don't want level 1, I want level 2 rooms. 62. Okay. Let's have a look here. Okay. Exits are random for this one. This is the spiked chamber. When I was designing the kind of the rooms for level 2, I kind of thinking to myself, I need some kind of strange dark rooms. And I was kind of drawing upon images from sort of the classic dungeon stuff, but also kind of, I don't know, almost like kind of almost a bit cyberpunky, or bit kind of Brazil. There's the film Brazil, kind of crazy, some crazy stuff. I don't quite know ahead of us, but this spiked chamber, let's write this in. Spiked chamber. I'll read it. Spiked chamber. I'm going to put some spikes in the walls here. It's kind of like a training area, if you get what I mean. Right. So, large iron spikes line the walls and ceiling here and seem to serve no function. A barrack knight is training here. They turn and attack. There is a large chest here. Roll on CT2. We'll do that after. Okay, so we are facing our first level 2 creature, the barrack knight. Now, these are one of the bigger bosses for the level. He is... right, pretty tough. Okay. 18 hit points. And so this is quite a tough space to face, the spiked chamber. He is probably pretty tough. I don't fancy my odds. We'll just have to see. We'll have to see. It's just him. Right. He has some pretty good stuff there that I would like to get my hands on. In fact, I've got a good amount of gold, so I'm almost at the point where I could go back and buy some stuff to be able to survive. Ideally, I would have explored more rooms on this level, but we'll just have to see. Okay, round 1. Here we go. 5-4. Excellent. That I can shift to a drubbing. Let's have a little look at his interrupts. Shoulder guards on primary ones, -2. Helm on secondary ones. And banded chest plate on secondary 2s and 3s. -2 damage. So, they're all quite low numbers. So if I keep rolling high, then it might reflect that these are quicker attacks that get past the armour. You see, so we're looking at 5-4, goes to 6-4 for the drubbing. He can't defend against this. This is a D6 +1. Are the dice gods with me? Let's have a look. 4 +1 is 5 damage. Not bad. Not bad. 18 reduced to 13. That is a good start. All right, the barrack knight has a curving slash for 3-3 and a precise stab for 6-4. Both do pretty good damage. He rolls a 6-1. Now, instead, I didn't mention he also has a shift +2, which is the same as me. So he is pretty tough, and unfortunately, he can't shift enough to get it to 4. So he's just one short of that. So he doesn't hit, and it is round 2. I roll a 1-3, which is no good for me. Unfortunately, I can't shift it to a 4 for the pummel, and so that doesn't work. And check the barrack knight. He gets a 4-2, so he can shift it to 3 and 3 to make a curving slash. Now that is 3s. My armor's no good against this type of attack, so he gets to hit me full on, and he doesn't do any damage. It deflects off me. No damage at all. I managed to sidestep it, maybe. Something happens. So we have no damage taken there, which is brilliant. Round 3. Let's have a look here. 6-1. Oh, that is close, but not close enough. So I can't shift it to a 4 because I've only got +2. And I can't shift it to my pummel. I don't hit there, unfortunately. Okay, so the Barrack Knight then swings. He rolls 2-1. He can't shift it either to his 3-3 there. So goes to round 4. And we get the other dice in here. We get our +1 for fatigue. Hopefully you can see all that. And I am rolling here 6-4. Yes, that is an exact strike. So I get to add my shift to the damage. Take that, Barrack Knight. Let's roll. It better be bloody good. 2 + 1 + 2 + 3, because it's the extra shift here. So that is 6 damage. Okay. So he's down to 7. Right, it's his turn. He's got +3 shift now as well. Let's have a look. 6-3. He can shift it to his precise stab. Damn. It's a 6-4. It's a secondary 4. I've got Bishop's Mantle on secondary 4s, which gives me a -2 to the damage, which makes it a D6 -3. So he does me 1 point of damage. Awesome. Okay. That was the Bishop's Mantle. Deflected off, because that's the collar that goes around your neck there. And obviously that's where he tried to stab me, but my Bishop's Mantle deflected it. Okay, so my attack, it's round 5. We have 2 plus, I've got +4 shift. I roll a 1-6. Oh, it couldn't be much worse than that, I don't think. So I can't shift that to any of my stuff. I'm way off. It's probably the worst roll for me. He gets a roll 6-5. He gets to do his precise stab again, and that means that he has, the Bishop's Mantle has the same effect. Oh, and he rolls a 6 for the damage, which takes me down to 10. All right, we are into round 6. +3. I've got +5 shift. 2-5. So that can be, I can shift that to 6 and a 4, which is using all 5 points of shift to give me the drubbing, which is 6 + 1. And then that is 5 damage. He's down to 2 points of damage. All right, here we go. He gets an attack. 3-1. He can shift it to his curving slash, which he's going to do. That's D6 -2. I cannot block this one. That is 1 point of damage. Takes me down to 9. And we have 1-3. I can shift that to my pummel just about, which is minus, and he gets to -2 damage on secondary. So it's -4. So it's 1 point of damage. Takes him down to 1 point of damage. God damn it, that could be costly. He rolls a 1-2. He's got 5 shift. He can go to 3. Yes, he can do his curving slash, which is -2. Oh, and he rolls a 6. Which takes me down to 5. It's close. Very close. 5-5. I can roll the drubbing, which will kill him. 7. There you go. He's down to -6, and he collapses. So, that's the first barrack knight I've killed. Careful, he may try to bite your kneecaps off. Yes, he may well try that. Okay, we succeeded. We killed the barrack knight with his +2 shift. That is lethal. Only 2 characters. 3 characters have got the +2 shift. One's the adept, who is relatively weak on everything else, and then the overlord, who's the boss of the level. Okay. Right. So, let's have a look. What have we got here? We got pouch table +2. Let's see what this guy. Let's see what we find. There's also a chest in this space. We'll come back to that in a minute. Pouch table level 2. What loot have we got for this beastie? 8 +2 is 10. Okay. There are some loose coins. 2d6 gold coins. 3 gold coins. I'm not rolling well on these tables this evening. Roll D3. Okay, here we go. D3. So 5, we get 6. We got a mid-quality ruby. Ah, very nice. 1 mid-quality ruby, which is worth a pretty penny. That is worth. What have we got here? A mid-quality ruby is worth 24 gold. And I've got a low quality garnet here, which is worth 8 gold from the last adventure. Very nice. Okay, so we found that on the guard there. Yep, nothing else in there. Nice, very nice. Do you have anything to bring back HP? Yes, that is a good Paolo, that is a good question. I will talk about that in a second. We do have one other thing to check first. We've got in that room, there was a loot item. Spike chamber. Yes, there's a large chest here. Roll on CT2. Just draw the chest in the corner here. There it is. Okay, let's have a look. Let's do this. Chest table 2. Here we go. Ideally, something that would help me get some of my stuff back, but it doesn't look like there is going to be. All right. 7. The chest is full of folded uniforms. At the bottom is a piece of armor. Roll on Art T1. Awesome. I need to go. Work in 6 hours. Good luck with your game. Thanks for being here, Christopher. Appreciate that, my friend. Have a good day when you go to work, which is very soon. Right. So, let's write this down. We need to roll on the table for this piece of armor. Art 1, which is armor 1. Armor table 1. Here we go. So, Art 1 up there. Okay. 1. Oh my god. It's a jerkin, and I've got a jerkin already. Oh dear. Right, what that means is, and it's good to be able to show this, but if you keep armour, it's a heavy item. I'm just going to put it in here. So I'm going to keep it and sell it in town when I head back up that way. That's what we'll do. It goes into the large and heavy items, which is on this character sheet there. And that's... Now, interestingly, if I wanted to leave the dungeon, I couldn't at the moment, because the rooms that I've created don't marry up to the walls as yet. I'm in a tricky situation. I've got five health points. There's no way out. I've got no thing against the walls. It has to be up against the outer boundary if you want to find an exit. I didn't get another piece of weapon. I've got a potion of fidelity, +1 precision for the dungeon level. That's not going to help me much with this here. I've had very little god encounters actually, which is unusual. So what am I going to do? That is the question. Because we are going to leave it there. Now you probably can hear my voice is going a bit. I probably will use the new mechanism. I'll probably go back. In fact, let's do it. Let's do it. We're going to go back and we're going to cook up the rat. Oh no, there isn't actually a fireplace in these, is there? No, we can't do it. There's no fire in these places, so we can't cook the rat up. So we're in dire straits. I'm just going to have to plough forward. I'm going to have to go towards this space here and see if I can have a room next to the wall and then exit to the town. Oh bother, where art thou? Exactly. Damn, you're in a tight spot. I am in a tight spot. But we're going to leave that tight spot until next time, because I am very tired. I'm still recovering from my sickness, from my illness from last week. Now, I ate it out as well for my volleyball league. Excellent. I watched the rest of later tonight. So yeah, Arundel Knox. Well, we're going to finish it now, and Vincent. So. You ain't really missing. Glad you're doing somewhat better. Yes, I am. Thanks, guys. So any updates you've got, if they can be on 0.97, but I would say maybe leave it a couple of days, because I'm probably going to do a 0.975 on this one. Yeah, I'm wrapping it up, James, unfortunately. We've been doing 2.5 hours, and I think we've discussed the rules, had a bit of play of level 2. I will carry on with this. I might do some later in the week, so we'll see. I have obviously been unwell, so I'm a bit slower, but there are some corrections I need to add. Clive's done some more stuff, and there's some other bits and pieces. But the core rules are in the rules now. It's everything that I want to add to it. It's just sorting out some of the language, some of the little nuances and bits and pieces. So what we've got in the core rules now is what we're going to be moving forward with. Because I have to have a basis to be able to finish this game on. So, because I'm already well into writing level 3, I need to have a structure on which I can base all that stuff and stop. I don't want to keep going back to the rules to keep changing them. I think we're pretty much there based upon what's been happening. Yes. So yeah, I'm not going to go and play volleyball, and I am not going off to work in 6 hours. I'm going to sit down for half an hour before bed, and then I am going to, because I'm buzzing, I need to come down, and then yeah, I'll be up. When do I get up? I probably get up at about 7 in the morning. I really appreciate how you've handled all the suggestions from people. Johnny, thank you. Thanks for playing. No problem. I just think, you know, I just value what people think. You know, I don't think... I think maybe that's a rare thing these days. I don't know. But I'm just really enjoying the process. So, guys, take care. And those level 2 rules, level 2 tables seem pretty good to me. I'm pretty pleased with them. Testers seem to enjoy them. And we're going to be getting some crypt stuff very soon. So on that note, I will say goodbye, and I will catch up with you very soon. Take care.